Well, hello! Welcome to the show. My name is Carlos, and my co-host is standing by. Hello, Zach. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh, that just sounded like you were.
Well, what more do you want from me?
I don't know. Enthusiasm.
I mean,
Oh,
we do the same thing every week.
yeah,
Cool enough.
yeah. Well,
You can't expect me to be like, "Hey, I'm here today." Now you want from me?
actually, that would scare the crap out of me because I'd be like, "Who are you, and what have you done with Zach?" So, anyways, some interesting. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Oh, so,
I didn't have
oh,
anything
okay.
to say.
So, some big news. Well, big news for me and things like that. I got some upgrades, and there were some downgrades, maybe. We'll talk about them here. And I can't say a lot yet. It's a behind the scenes kind of thing, but there may be some changes coming to the show. We'll see. Nothing is confirmed yet, so yeah. Anyway, no. So, we dropped our cable. We dropped cable. So
More people should think like that.
yeah, so what we did, we dropped cable, and we now have Hulu TV.
I
And
see nothing wrong with this.
and the fun,
Well, except for the fact that TV sucks. But, I mean, I guess paying for a subscription service to watch some crap is better than paying for a cable company to serve you some
okay, but see, here's the
bundled
thing.
with ads that
Well,
you're paying.
okay, so here's the thing about this, right? So the Hulu TV is like $45 a month. You actually get a decent selection of channels, and you get 50 gigabytes of cloud storage, like DVR cloud storage, which is actually pretty cool.
There's no like advertising.
Well, I mean, you're watching live TV, so yeah, there is. Like, there's commercials and things like that.
Forget it. So
Well, okay,
I
it's
retract what I said.
hang on. It's live TV. You can't get rid of live TV commercials. But if you DVR it, you can
Well, then
skip.
why is it not live TV?
No, it is.
So what's the difference then? What's the difference between that and your stupid cable?
Because it cost way less.
I mean, fair enough, but honestly, like, what do you say, $45 a month? For $45 a month, I expect 25% of my video watching content to not be advertising, because that's about the
Well, now hold
ratio
on.
of
Now hold on. Okay.
advertising to real content in TV.
Right, but that's how they make money.
Yet people pay for it.
Now,
Like,
now hang
what
on.
do you mean that's how they make money? People pay to watch.
No. That's how the shows and the networks make money.
Yeah, well, I still find the concept just astronomically.
You keep cutting yourself off at the end. I don't know if you need to change your settings again or not, but
Well, I'm fairly sure I don't, because on any other platform I don't have issues, so.
interesting. So, no, okay, here is the thing, though. So, because we get 50 gigabytes of cloud storage, I can just DVR everything I want to watch, and then I can actually fast forward through the commercials at that point.
Wait, but if you just had a crap computer, like a toaster with a TV tuner and a terabyte hard drive, there you go. You got a terabyte of DVRs.
Right, yeah, you could do the same thing, basically. But
Like,
now but they do really weird things
It's
with,
not a
like,
terribly compelling argument.
okay, yeah, that's true, but it's cheaper. Anyways, because of this, because we're not paying for the cable portion anymore, we upped our internet package. So, I wish it was a gig, but it's not. But I think speed test is like 100 down, 50 up, so that's kind of cool. So, yeah. Anyways, I just wish that more internet service providers like were able to reliably give speeds like that. That would be nice. And I'm sure Zach would appreciate
a lot
that.
of them oversell the speeds because they know that people won't use it all
Hmm.
at the same time.
That's probably true. You know, I haven't noticed a huge difference in loading, but I think that's because, like, most of what you load anyways loads pretty quickly when you already have, like, 25 down and, like,
You won't notice the difference, so you go try and download something.
yeah, I think I downloaded Chrome the other day and it just went, whook! I was like, oh, that was fast.
And then Chrome is like tiny.
Right. So when you download something tiny, like, oof. But like even uploading, because we have cloud storage, right, for like documents for like TechBee Media and stuff like that. Like uploading all that stuff and things, like, and sometimes I'm uploading like video files and things. You know, there's a lot of project templates and things, so having the extra speed will be nice for that. So, anyways, and it probably won't hurt for streaming either. You know, streaming the show and stuff like that. So, having the extra bandwidth and things. So, anyways. But yeah, so that's my big news. Anything new with you?
Nope.
How's the job?
Well, you know, it is what it is.
Okay. How's the car treating you?
It always tells me there's low tire pressure when it's cold out.
That actually is a thing. So when the cold comes around, it tends to suck the air out of the tires and things.
Properties of the air or something.
Yeah. How did your battery do in the cold temperatures the other day?
I didn't drop.
Lucky.
I didn't go anywhere.
So I had picked up a like a small battery jumper, and I don't think, how cold did it get up there with wind chill? Like coldest day?
Negative 40 something, 45.
Okay, yeah, we were about in that range too.
Wind.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, as a hybrid vehicle, I would hope the battery is functional.
Oh, yours is a hybrid?
So you know it.
I missed that portion. Anyway, so yeah, I like when
Also, it skids all over the place. Like when there's snow, I'm drifting.
do you have summer tires on there or do you have all season tires?
I'm fairly certain they're just all season generic. But
Mm.
it's also a tiny car, so I mean,
Does it
what do you?
wait,
A
so
tiny front-wheel drive car. What do you think's gonna happen?
right, okay, at least it's front wheel drive, and you know why that's important in the winter?
Sort of, because it's just easier to
Well you
easier
have
to control.
you get better traction a little bit. Why do you think
Right,
that
so-
is?
Because it's in the front. Because you're like it's
Well, okay, so
basic.
the fact that you have
Like,
front,
I'm trying to. I don't know. It makes sense in my head.
it makes sense in your head. Here's the simple explanation. So because you have a front wheel drive vehicle, what do you have in the front of your car?
Well, there's an engine.
Right, and an
That's in
engine.
the front of.
Yeah, and an engine tends to be what?
Is it because the engine is heavy?
Yeah, it's because the engine is heavy, so you've got more weight in the front.
So it puts the weight there.
Yeah.
What the heck? What kind of rear-wheel drive car has the engine in the?
No.
No.
You'll have a vehicle like my truck is rear wheel drive, but because there's no weight in the back, because it's just the bed, it's horrible.
Oh, right. Now I get it.
Yeah. So that's the benefit of having a front wheel drive vehicle is you get a little bit better
Was
traction.
your truck not? You have a truck that's not four-wheel.
Yeah. So if I was gonna do this again, I would make next time I buy a truck, 4-wheel drive will be a requirement. So
You know, I almost had Subaru car. It's like a car, like a compact. I think it was an Impreza or something. That was all-wheel drive. I bet that would be pretty sweet.
yeah, Subaru
Like,
tends to do a lot
10
of
less miles per gallon. So you know what? My wallet says no.
what is it? What was I gonna say? Totally forgot what I was gonna say. Anyways, must not be that important. Yeah. So that's one thing. But yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit cold. I don't know. Everybody was spazzing out about it, but I had my window open because my room's hot.
Oh yeah, so I have
My
now.
room is boiling hot. I was wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and like with my computer and being my space heater, basically.
Well, because your system essentially acts as a space heater at that point. Because
It literally does, though. Like, I open the door, step out in the hallway, it's like 5 degrees colder.
Right, I ran into that issue too, where like
I had the window open for hours upon hours during the cold wave, and I wasn't even bothered. It was fine.
Yeah, so like, because I've never had a system as powerful as Redmond before, like this year, like I've noticed a couple times where it's been pretty warm in here, and like been like, whoo. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I've got Redmond in here, and it's essentially a space heater. So.
Yes, that's how it goes.
Dude, no, you really want to get a space heater going? Just do folding at home.
Yeah, you could do that too.
So, anyways. Oh, so I took one of my old, like, Pentium systems that's, like, just a complete toaster, and threw Fedora on it, and Fedora server, and I'm going to be putting a Linux server back in the house.
So what are you going to use it for?
Mostly schoolwork. So
just to have it.
Yeah, MySQL and like Linux commands and things like that. So yeah, basically just to have it. And I don't know.
It's the toaster, so what more does it?
Right, but
really?
You know what? I would show it right now, but it's not up. But with like a server edition on there, now you would think, okay, server edition, pretty heavy weight, right? Except for Linux is already lightweight, and it's only command line. Like that's the only way to interact with it is the command line, because they didn't install any like GUI or anything, so it's actually pretty lightweight install, like really really lightweight. So it runs just fine on the toaster. So, anyways, although I still would love to get a server at some point, just like some old server, like. Not even necessarily like super, super top of the line powerful. I just think it would be kind of fun to have to like just dink around with. You know what I mean?
Would be kind of cool.
You talked about that at one point.
We both did.
Right. Well, we talked about putting it here because all of us would be able to access it pretty easily because I have a pretty decent connection. So, and then you were like, no, I want to actually...
If you want to do that, though, like, why not just get some space in a cloud provider?
You could do that, too.
I think that would be the way to go.
Right, but then you manage the hardware yourself, and that's the thing.
Well, yeah, but managing the hardware, you don't... Like, that's like 1% of it. You know? Managing the software is all of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, I
don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. We'd have to discuss that. Anyways, so yeah. Let's hop into topics for this week. So, how much have you been paying attention to Apple lately?
Not really.
So, did you hear about how Apple had a huge bug with FaceTime?
Nope. Actually, I didn't.
Yeah. So they had this okay. So Apple has delayed a software update that's going to restore the use of group FaceTime after the feature was disabled last week because of a bug that allowed callers to eavesdrop on call recipients. Yeah. So the bug fix was initially supposed to arrive last week, according to a statement the company gave on Monday. Because Apple disabled the feature on its servers, the bug hasn't been exploited since around midnight on Tuesday. Now, the bug was apparently reported to Apple days before it was actually addressed, of course. Okay, explain this to me. If you have a bug that's addressed, right? Why wouldn't you start working on trying to address that bug right away? Know what I mean? So
That's me shrugging.
Okay. And in a statement, Apple now says it is committed to improving how it deals with bug reports in the future. Oh, pfft. Can anyone say PR speak right there?
I can say it. PR speak.
The company is also thanking by name the family of the teenager who first found and reported the bug. Well, really, a teenager? Okay, how does this work? How does Apple not have internal people who are testing these things to figure out what problems they have in their software? How is it that it's always somebody from the outside? Like, shouldn't you know what problems you have in your own software? I mean, granted, if you're a company that big. I think so, but I don't know. What do you think?
Come on. You can't expect them to know all of these things. Come on.
So, yeah. So the bug, only to be, reported the bug, only to be unable to get the company's attention. Apple also apologized to customers and says it is committed to continuing to earn the trust of Apple consumers. What? Okay. Apple is like the company that can do no wrong. They, here's a great example, because this leads into our next story, but they throttled people's phones purposely, didn't say it, then they got caught, and they're like, oh crap, we got caught, right? And people still continue to buy the products and support this company. Apple is the company that can do no wrong. I don't know, do you agree with that statement, Zach?
Yes.
I don't get it. Because any other company, you would not accept that, would you? Yet Apple has seemed to find a way to be able to do no wrong, while screwing their customers over all the time, apparently. I don't know, from what I've heard in stories and things like that, but yeah. Although, okay, remember that whole, we're going to throttle phones that have older batteries and blah, 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 and, remember that whole thing?
Oh, yeah, we had a long chat about that.
So, it actually blew up in their face, remember?
Of course it did.
Yeah. Well, not only did it, tick off a bunch of customers, but in response to that, do you remember what their good PR stunt was?
They offered cheap batteries, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. They offered battery replacements. So, as a result of that, what ended up happening? You know?
A lot of people got cheap batteries. That's about it.
Right. So what they elected to do was they elected to put a new battery in their old phone to get more life out of it, right? Because it was cheaper than buying a new phone. Therefore, hurting Apple because sales for the iPhones have actually been down recently. So Apple kind of screwed themselves on that one, which is kind of funny if you ask me. Yeah. Anyways, so let's talk about a little company by the name of iFixit. I'm sure you've heard of it before, haven't you?
Yep.
So, for those who are uninitiated, what is iFixit, Zach?
Some company that posts teardown videos of iPhones. That's all I know, really.
Well, iPhones and other phones, they don't really post videos. They do repair guides online for a bunch of different things. But anyways, you can also buy parts from them. And one of the things you can buy from them is an iPhone battery replacement kit. Now,
And Apple probably doesn't like that too much.
No. Apple doesn't like anytime anybody does something that they can't control. Because Apple has to be a Nazi and be like, oh, we're the only ones who can work on the iPhone. Anyway. So, iFixit last week said that it's going to continue to keep selling its iPhone battery replacement kits for $30, which is the price that Apple charged for its official replacements in 2018. Now, if you want to get your iPhone repaired at an Apple store, the price now ranges from, any guesses, Zach? It's under $100. I'll tell you that. It's under $100.
I don't know.
No guess?
Well, I just said I don't.
Okay.
I hate this guess thing. It's just guess. Oh, I don't have a clue. I have no idea.
That's why I like
Might as well just pull a number out of a.
That's why I like you to
And
guess.
then add a bunch because it's Apple. So it's probably more.
Add a bunch because it's Apple. I like that. We should put that on a t-shirt. Just add a bunch because it's Apple. No, they're running anywhere from $49 to $79. Which, okay, is not horrible. So, my institution charges like $50 now. So, but it's way more convenient. So, here's the thing, right? Here's how the process works. So, in my area, you have to drive 2 hours either way, north or south, to go get to an Apple store. Then you go wait in line for like 2 hours, and then they fix your phone. Versus my institution where you just drop in anytime, and we usually have parts on hand, and we can do it in about 20 minutes. Because that's about as long as it takes. 20 minutes. So, it's a pretty fast procedure. Anyway. So, the iFixit kit includes everything you need to replace your iPhone battery, including tweezers. Actually, those come in really handy. A suction handle. Don't use that. The battery itself. That's kind of important. And a precision bit driver. Because Apple apparently just doesn't know how to use standard screwdrivers. So, they got to make everything screwy. So, because Apple. You know what's really annoying, Zach?
Well, there's a lot of things.
Well, specifically with Apple.
Well, there's still a lot of things.
So, let's take an iPhone 7, for instance, right? So, not only so you need a pentalobe screwdriver to get the 2 pentalobe screws out of the bottom first, right? Okay? And those are the only 2 pentalobe screws in the entire device. So, you need a screwdriver for literally 2 screws. Okay? Then, you get onto the inside, right? Then, it's a jumbled mess of tri-point and Phillips screws. Because apparently Apple couldn't just decide to use one, standard set of screws. It's annoying. So, and then you, go to the 8 and the 10, and then they've, switched back to, just using... I think the 8 still uses the tri-point, and then the 10, switches back to the Phillips screwdriver. But, man. Oh, and the best part is that, Apple has to use, 10 different size screws. And they're literally, pull 1.2-inch screw out. Pull 1.3-inch screw out. Pull 1.1-inch screw out. Right? Now, you would think at some point that the screws would kind of you would have a set of them where you pull out 3 that are the exact same length. I tore an iPhone apart one time, down to the motherboard, and I only had 2 screws that were the same size. So yeah, thank you, Apple. Oh, and then the best part is when you put the screws in the wrong spot, you break things. So, yeah.
I'm sure they'd come up with a stupid reason for doing it like that.
I think what it is, I think it's to discourage people from working on their devices because Apple has to be a Nazi about it. Now, Samsung, let's look at a Samsung, right? So, Samsung has said, okay, if you can get the back off without cracking it, but you can't really blame them for that if you want wireless charging. You got to have a glass back. But once you get that back off, there is one size screw in there. And then the best part about...
Why do people like wireless charging so much? Until it's going to charge in my pocket remotely, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of cool.
What is the point? I have to put it on my desk to wirelessly charge.
Yeah, so...
And I still have to put it on my desk to wired charge. So I'm just kind of sitting here wondering, why make design compromises like requiring a glass back? That's it. Just for some seemingly meaningless.
It looks cool. That's the reason. It looks cool.
That is a stupid reason.
And the fact that wireless charging. But no, so Samsung's, you literally get the back off, and then you take out one size screw that holds the entire thing together, right? Maybe there's like a couple other screws that are holding something in that are like a couple different sizes, but pretty much it's one size screw fits all, right? Doesn't matter where you put them back in. And then the thing kind of just snaps apart modularly. It's actually pretty cool. Way easier to work on a Samsung than it is an iPhone. So, a little bit harder to get into it, but once you're in, pretty easy. So, and the best part is if you break something on a Samsung phone, you can just replace it for the most part. So, great story. I don't know if they'll appreciate this, but, well, I won't say completely. Let's just say that somebody at my, at the store I work for, at one point in time, accidentally set a phone on fire. I think they were doing a battery swap, and they like punctured the battery and lit the phone on fire. At one point, it was an iPhone, and they just had to go next door and get the guy like a new phone because you couldn't repair everything. The second time, because it happened a couple times, I guess, which is an occupational hazard of, taking batteries out and things, lithium-ion batteries. But the second time it happened, it was a Samsung phone, or one of the times it happens, it was a Samsung phone, and they were able to just replace a bunch of components on the phone and give it back to the guy. So that should tell you the Nazism of Apple. So, yeah. Anyway, back to this. Okay? The company is selling the kits for every model between the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 8 Plus. The 4S battery kit's going to be cheaper at $16.99. And of course, remember that if you take your phone apart and replace the battery with unofficial parts, Apple will likely refuse to service your device. Again, Nazis. How many times can I tell, like, if that's not clear, then I don't know how much more clear I can make it. Hey, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
What is Apple's stance on device repair?
I personally think that only Apple should be allowed to service iPhone devices because they made them. Therefore, they must be the best professionals to do the...
Oh, man. That's funny. I like that. Thank you.
Surely such a service cannot be cheap. This much is... But that is fine, as you are paying for the quality of Apple.
Right. So, Apple only lowered the price of its battery replacements to $50 after it was discovered in 2017 that the company did what, Zach?
They throttled phones with old batteries to preserve their longevity.
Purposely, they did. So Apple adjusted the price to try and make peace with users after its speed throttling practice was outed. Yeah. Yeah. So now the company says it's that the lower prices affected its iPhone sales. Well, yeah, because more people took advantage of putting the new battery in because it was way cheaper and refreshing their old devices than just paying up for a new phone. So, excuse me. Here's the problem with iPhones in general. It seems like every time you see an iPhone, like, they all look the same. And every time you see an iPhone, what is, like, always almost broken on it, Zach?
Screen.
Exactly. Excuse me. Well, now Apple has hopped on the whole bandwagon of wireless charging. So what have they done on the back?
So now the glass is on the back, too.
Yeah.
Huh,
now,
nice.
You want to know what Apple did? Okay, so that whole back piece there is the frame. So, if you break the back glass, it costs you like...
You've broken something critical.
No. If you break the back, you can replace it, but it's going to cost you, at least in our store, like a couple $100, because you literally have to take everything out of the phone and put it into the new back glass, because that back glass is built into the frame of the phone. It's like one piece.
Sounds utterly peachy.
Yeah. So, anyways. So. And right now, if you break your iPhone 10 screen, like, screens are going to cost you at least a couple $100 just for the screen itself. So, our, like, top of the line screen that we have for the iPhone 10 is like a $400 repair right now. So, yeah. But anyways. So, let's take a minute here to talk about this real quick. Okay? So, the idea of being able to repair your own device with a company like iFixit that sells you the parts, sells you the tools you need, and gives you the guide to do it. Good thing or bad thing?
What about it?
Just the whole idea of iFixit and the fact that they're giving you this, you know, they're giving you the instructions, they're giving you a kit, they're giving you the tools you need. Good thing, bad thing.
Personally, I'm not a big fan of taking a small device apart, like, but yeah, by all means, you know.
See, okay, so here's the thing about this, right? I love that iFixit inspires this community of, and don't get me wrong, I am fully in favor of iFixit. I love that it inspires this community of, here's a guide on how to do this. Here's what you need. Here are parts, tools, things like that, right? But I think that you really, really, really have to consider what your level, what your experience level is, and what you're capable of before you try to take this on. Because what I think happens is people who don't have the knowledge to disassemble a device like they should try to disassemble it and then end up breaking it. And then
they do.
See, and then this is the problem, right? Then it comes to me and I have to figure out what you did versus just bringing it to me in the first place and letting me do it right the first time. So, now, let me say this. Again, the idea of being able to repair your own devices and things like that, I have no problem with that. What I want to make clear is that if you don't have the knowledge to do it, if you're not a techie person, if you're not a handy person, please don't.
See, I wouldn't even want to do that. Like, now, I'm fortunate, and I can replace the battery in my phone very easily because the back just comes off. But, you know, if anything else needed to be replaced, I mean, ignoring the fact that it's a 5-year-old phone and I might as well just get it, I'd probably bring it in.
So I think I haven't worked on a Galaxy S5 yet, but
You think they would even service a device like that?
I would.
I just had that thought. I don't even know.
Yeah, because we service those we service those cheap cheap like Walmart phones all the time.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's just let's take a look here real quick, because parts for your phone are actually probably pretty cheap.
I mean, I would probably just get a new phone if anything.
Right.
To just.
Okay.
It's
so.
not worth.
Is yours the active, the i9600? Yours isn't the mini, is it?
No, it's just a S5. I can tell you that the model number is SMG 900. That helps you.
SMG 900.
Model V for Verizon.
Right.
But personally, I think it should be M for company run by monkeys.
Company run by what?
By monkeys.
Oh, by monkeys.
Or morons, or whatever M word you feel like.
I think this is yours right
Which
here.
Which is an insult, and it's got to be an insult. No M words that are good can describe.
What color is your screen? Oof.
Color is the screen?
Yeah.
It's black.
Is it
Well,
black?
the phone's black.
Okay. I mean, well, the battery's actually not bad. You can get a battery for like $10. If
I
you
have like a $12 battery in it.
yeah. If you broke your screen, let me ask you, okay? So the part would cost you like $60, a little bit more than $60. Would it be worth it for you to replace it?
Maybe if I was only paying for the part, but I don't know about. Like, let's say it costs $100 to do it. That's kind of.
Yeah. And you're probably going to be looking at that because they're going to charge you for the part plus some upcharge for that part probably, and then for the labor on that and things like that. So,
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, it probably wouldn't be.
But you could do it. Now, here's the thing: would you even know the first step in? Actually, I bet you could probably get the first couple steps to replacing your battery.
If I looked around online, I could.
Well, let's use some common sense
I know
here.
how to replace the battery.
Yeah, let's use some common sense here, and I'll give you a hint. You start from the back of the phone on that repair.
You probably start with the back, and it just further disassemble.
Yeah, so probably take off the back, take out the battery because that's always a great place to start. Take out some screws. Bunch of panels are probably going to start coming apart. Take out the motherboard. Now, once you get it down to just the frame, then that's where you probably start, because you could probably disassemble it that far. Once you get to actually the screen portion, though, you'd probably be kind of lost. So, anyways.
Read a guide.
You can read a guide, but let me tell you, getting the screens off of a Samsung phone is a process.
I mean, mind you, this is a 5-year-old Samsung.
Right. Well, any Samsung phone. It is a process that includes...
I don't know if that's been a thing they've been doing for a long time or what.
I think so. It's a process that, well, that one might actually snap together, but probably not. On the newer ones, though, like the S6 and, well, the S8, I know for sure because I did one a few weeks ago, or maybe it was the S7. It is a process that involves tearing the phone apart, and then lots and lots of heat, and a playing card. And lots of patience. It is a task. So, yes. Now, repairing the screen on an iPhone is a little bit easier. It just involves swapping a lot of components around and not breaking the home button. So, anyways. But, yeah, this whole culture of being able to repair your own devices, I like. But I think you just got to be careful and know your own limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right, our time. I can't talk now. Our favorite time of the show is here. Time for Microsoft news. So,
Oh, joy.
What did I find for Microsoft news this week? Yeah. So, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Remember the Surface? Well, you were talking about the Surface Go and how you actually really liked it.
Well, with like 10 minutes with it, I liked it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So Microsoft posted the second quarter of its 2019 financial results the other day, reporting revenue of $32.5 billion. Wow, really? Yeah, I guess I'm not super surprised by that. And net income of $8.4 billion. Now, Surface and Gaming are both up, but revenue for Windows license has slipped.
Sucks to be Microsoft.
I wonder why. Any guesses on that one, Zach?
I won.
Oh, man. While Surface revenue only grew 1% in the same quarter last year, it has jumped by a massive 39% this year to $1.86 billion, which is the biggest jump. Or the big jump is not entirely surprising as Microsoft released its Surface Pro 6 and Surface Laptop 2 during the most recent quarter alongside the new Surface Studio 2 and Surface headphones. Really? Okay.
Surface headphones. That sounds very silly. tell you.
Oh God.
Are they an atrocity?
I mean, we'll see what you think. Like, yeah. They're not horrible. They're very, like, Microsoftness. Like, would you agree?
I'm still loading it. Hold on. Because you linked that in a format that I had to download.
Oh yeah, and then
And
it doesn't.
now my
And then it
freaking
doesn't
software
open.
is taking forever.
And then it doesn't open.
Come on, Paint. It's just Paint, you stupid. Computer doesn't want to open Paint.
Dude, come on. Like, I know you only have 4 cores,
There was
but
an error opening the
yeah.
file that you get.
Well, I think that's from the website. I've had issues with this before, where it shows up just fine on, there you go. Or it shows up just fine on the website, but then when you actually, like, go to like, take it, it doesn't work very well. So, here we go. Right here. Very, very Microsoft-ishness. I
guess.
They look clean. They look clean, I will say that. Would you agree?
I'm sure they're overpriced and don't sound very good, let's be honest.
Holy crap. Okay, they're wireless. Okay, so that's a thing. Looks like they come with a stand. I don't know if that's included. Any guesses as to how much they cost?
Probably a arm and a leg.
Come on.
And a kidney.
Just give me a number.
Couple $100.
Not horrible. $349.
$349.
So,
$349. My Sennheisers that cost half as much, not even half as much, probably sound better than that.
I don't remember how much these Sonys cost me, but not that much. So, Surface Book 2 and Surface Go sales pushed Surface revenue to $1.1 billion in the previous quarter, so it's clear demand has continued across the new Surface devices. I mean, Surface is now nearly a $2 billion business for Microsoft. So, yeah, okay. So that's about all that really happened for Microsoft this week. It's just that their Surface line is actually kind of exploding, which, I mean, if I have more time to play with the Surface Go, like I said, I think the concept of it is actually a really, really good concept. The small little portable device that you can carry around that runs a fully featured version of Windows. So, so let me ask you, okay? Even though it's not as powerful as your main system is, let's just say that, like, would you use it as a daily driver? As, like, a mobile daily driver?
Wait, is this a Surface Go?
Yeah.
Probably not.
What would you use as a, like, mobile daily driver?
I mean, I don't have much of a need for it, but if money wasn't an issue, a high-end
laptop. Okay.
15-inch size.
Right, but it's not as small and portable necessarily as that Surface Go, so I don't know. I think it also kind of depends on what you're doing, though. Like, if you're trying to do video editing or something on the go, then yeah, you're not probably going to be able to do it on a Surface Go or something like that. But maybe some small tasks, word processing, spreadsheets, things like that, you probably be fine. So, anyways, let's move on. We talked about internet earlier. Let's talk about more internet stuff. What is a thing that we all want but is no longer a thing, Zach?
There's a lot of things, really.
It starts with an N and also has an N in the other word, and it was a really, really big topic, and it was really sad because it doesn't exist anymore.
I wonder. Could it be net neutrality?
Yeah, but a new net neutrality bill is headed to Congress.
Right.
So
We'll see how that goes.
well,
Hopefully
okay.
it goes well, but I don't expect it.
Hold on. Okay, we'll talk about that. So the other day, Senator Ed Markey, who is a Democrat from either Maine or Massachusetts. MA, do you know what state that is? I think that's Massachusetts.
That's Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Okay. So, I said he would soon introduce a bill to permanently reinstate the net neutrality rules that were repealed by the Federal Communications Commission, led by Chairman Ajit Pai in 2017. Thank you, Ajit. Anyways, so Markey's announcement comes as a federal court is set to hear oral arguments over the FCC's repeal of net neutrality regulations in 2017. Can I just ask a question? What were all those people smoking when they said, here's a great idea, let's get rid of net neutrality? Or how much were they being paid off?
They weren't. They were probably smoking the paychecks from the cable company.
We are okay. Hang
saying.
on. We are making accusations right now that are probably like we don't know whether they're true or not. So take that with a grain of salt. But anyway.
Okay, but here's the thing. Since no one likes cable companies or cable company lobbyists anyway, I'm pretty sure we can safely bash on them. No one will be too bothered.
Right. So anyway, but I don't know. I feel like there had to be something wonky going on somewhere there because, like, why wouldn't you want net neutrality? Like, I don't think it matters whether you're a Democrat.
Well, because maybe you're the CEO of Comcast and you want to rake in more millions.
Right, but let's talk just the general public. I don't think it.
Sorry, I meant to say billions because millions is not enough for cable companies.
Okay, but let's get slightly political for just a second, even though I hate politics in the show. But whether you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're an independent, whatever your political views are, I think across party lines, most people could agree that net neutrality was a good thing. I don't think it mattered. I don't think it mattered what your political views were, which is rare because usually with issues like this, usually there's some kind of political like backdrive behind it. But I think in this case, there isn't. So that's why I said, what were these people smoking? Anyway, so Markey's announcement comes as the Federal Communication Court is set to hear oral agreements over the FCC's repeal of net neutrality regulations in 2017. He says Markey, who is a member of the Senate Commerce Committee, has previously introduced a bill that would permanently reinstate net neutrality as a member of the House of Representatives, although the measure ultimately failed. And it's unclear when the bill would be formally introduced, but Markey said it was imminent. We will soon lay down a legislative marker in the Senate in support of net neutrality to show the American people that we are on their side in overwhelming supporting a free and open internet. Okay, so the people are on board. That's awesome. Now we just need people in Congress to be on board. A spokesperson for Markey confirmed to The Verge the other day that the measure is a bill that would codify net neutrality rules into law. And there have been other congressional efforts to undo the FCC's rollback, but all have failed to conjure up the necessary votes to codify net neutrality rules. Now, earlier this year, Senate Democrats pushed through a Congressional Review Act measure that was aimed at reversing the commission's repeal, but the House of Representatives failed to collect enough signatures for the bill to be brought to the floor for a vote. Now, here's the thing. This is where this gets interesting, though. Okay? So, what happened a few months ago in politics, Zach, if you were paying attention?
I don't know.
It starts with an M?
How am I supposed to know?
Because you should have been.
I don't want to follow politics.
Because you should have been paying attention.
I'll probably know if you just tell me what it was.
Because you should have been paying attention.
But honestly, I have no idea what kind of M thing happened in politics.
Okay. It involves voting. which I'm gonna guess somebody didn't partake in. Midterm elections, dude. The midterms. You didn't.
You know, I can't be bothered with politics.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. Okay, let me say this real quick here. Okay, the midterm elections were a chance for
the record, I did.
You did vote in the midterms?
Only because a bunch of people pestered me.
Okay, but you should be voting in the midterms anyways. You should be voting in all elections. Here's the thing. Okay, but okay, so when you're voting for people that you want to put in Congress to represent the ideas that you have. Now, what happened?
Well, I don't expect anything to happen. I just did it because people were pestering me.
Oh, well, that's not the way to look at that. But anyways, so
it's kind of a cynical view, but I still.
This is the problem that we're having now, though. People like you, no offense, Zach, but people like you who are not interested in politics, and don't get me wrong, I understand it. Because politics is...
I mean, politics is so incredibly difficult to be interested in. Because
right.
It's just so toxic.
I don't blame you there. But it's important for us young people to actually vote in these things and be informed, because the people that we elect are there to represent our ideals. And so this is where we kind of ran into some of these issues here with net neutrality. What ended up happening was people didn't vote, people got elected that didn't have the same viewpoints necessarily as us, and then net neutrality got repealed. So there's probably more to it than that, but that's kind of the actual breakdown of what kind of sort of happened. Anyway, so as a result of the 2018 midterms, Democrats now hold a majority in the House and would likely be able to easily approve a net neutrality measure this session. I think Democrats are more on board with net neutrality than the Republicans were. However, Senate Democrats could face tough waters, though. Tougher waters, because, see, here's the problem, okay? So, the House has a Democrat majority, but the Senate has a Republican majority still. So, and if you remember government class, what has to happen, Zach?
Wait, what has to happen?
Okay, so when you start a bill, right? It starts in one place.
Well, you have to vote on one house, and the other house has to vote on it, and then the House and the Senate have to vote on it.
Exactly.
The president.
Exactly. Okay. So if you have a majority of one party in one part and a majority of the other party in another part, and in general, most of the time, both parties have different ideals, what ends up usually happening?
Nothing.
Yeah, usually. But, okay, this is where things get interesting, though. So, they're going to have a hard time because of that. Because Majority Leader Mitch McConnell may refuse to actually take that bill to the floor. But another discharge petition would be required to bring it up to vote to bypass McConnell, which may actually happen. And I feel like the Democrats are going to be maybe a little bit more organized in actually trying to get a bill actually started and at least put together. And hopefully there'll be enough people behind that idea to actually get it to go through. So that's where some of my hope is. Whether in the halls of the courts or the halls of Congress, we will fight to defeat net neutrality, Markey said in a statement the other day. Nothing less than the fate of the internet is being argued in this court case, and we must do everything we can in this historic fight. Industry groups like the Internet Association also backed Congress' efforts to permanently code net neutrality. In a statement the other day, IA, which is the Internet Association, said, the internet industry stands with consumers in this fight. Internet Association and other member companies are as committed as ever to ensuring all Americans enjoy strong, enforceable net neutrality protections, whether it be through the courts or bipartisan legislation. In August, Markey, along with Representative Anna Eshoo, I think is how you pronounce that, who's a Democrat from California, led up by some kind of effort along over 100 members of Congress in filing brief and net. Oh, I think we talked about that. some kind of briefing, a net neutrality case being heard, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, so basically, long story short, they are trying to pass another bill. I'm actually somewhat hopeful this time. So.
I think we can all hope.
But anyways. Okay. Let's talk about this. Okay, let's move on. So, you've heard of a little company by the name of Energizer before, right, Zach?
Sure.
Okay, what is Energizer known for?
Batteries.
Okay. Well, they're trying a new product idea. Any guesses? Yeah. Trying a new product idea.
Okay.
Any guesses as to what this is?
All right, you need to quit making me guess things because I don't want to guess.
But see, I wouldn't make you guess things if you'd actually looked through the rundown and things. It was actually ready ahead of time this week.
Yeah, well then I wouldn't. Then you couldn't make me guess.
Exactly. It wouldn't work.
I'm not guessing.
Anyways, okay. As if the simple fact that Energizer sells smartphones wasn't surprising enough, yeah, apparently Energizer sells smartphones.
They sell smart what?
The company is unveiling 26 new models. Wait, they already sell smartphones? What? I thought they were... Oh, okay. I didn't read this. I thought they were announcing that they were going to start selling smartphones. Apparently, the company's been selling smartphones. Wow. Oh, okay. Have you ever seen an Energizer cell phone before? No? Okay. The company is unveiling 26 new models at Mobile World Congress this year, with flagship features like, ooh, I like this, pop-up cameras, rather than a notch, apparently, and a massive 1,800 milliamp battery, and a foldable... Oh, wow. Pfft. Okay, I feel like this is going to be the year of foldable displays, Zach.
You know, they look semi-neat. Maybe.
I think the idea is cool. I'm excited about it, but I don't think the technology is there yet. I don't know. What do you think?
None of us have even seen one, so I don't know if you can fairly say that.
Just from what I've heard. Anyways, before you get any ideas, just know that these are all separate phones. Though a phone with all three of these features would truly be a sight to behold. In fact, the silhouettes of the pop-up camera models make the phones look like giant batteries, which is weirdly appropriate. According to 9 to 5 Google, the phones will be part of 4 lines: Power Max, Ultimate, Energy, and Hard Case. The bulk of the 26 new models will be basic feature phones, part of the Energy and Hardcore lines. So Power Max lines will include the 1,800 milliamp battery in them. The largest battery ever in a phone. Okay. I guess it goes without saying that a battery company would probably be able to figure out how to make a battery that's going to last for freaking ever in a phone. Just saying.
Potentially, yeah.
That's going to be followed by Energizer's own 1,600 milliamp Power Max P16K Pro. And phones in the Ultimate line will have features like the pop-up camera and teardrop notch displays. Whoa, wait, what? Why would you... Oh, okay. I was like, if you're putting a pop-up camera in it, then what do you need a... It does weirdly look like a battery. At least the middle one here does. Hold on. This is... I supposedly this is what they're going to look like. So... gotta hit some buttons here and...
That looks quite obnoxious, I must admit.
What does?
That pop-up thing.
Well, it'll only be there when you want it to be there. That's the theory.
Yeah, but it still looks just ridiculous.
I think it looks better than a Notch.
What?
Just saying.
Wow, you're a madman.
Just saying. I think it looks better than a Notch. Anyways, though not much is yet known about the specs of all the phones, we do know some details about the Ultimate phones, the more premium line. Energizer Ultimate U620S Pop and U630S Pop run on P70 and P22 MediaTek Helio chipsets. What the heck are those?
MediaTek is the chipset.
Like Qualcomm? Like the Snapdragon?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it's all ARM, but...
Both have dual cameras and a motorized pop-up. Oh, see, that's kind of cool. It's motorized. 16 megapixel. Oh, wow. Really? 16 megapixel? Yeah. Main camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. The U620S Pop has triple cameras in the back. 16 megapixel on a 5 megapixel and a 2 meg. Wow, really? 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. It'll be released in July, while the U630S will have 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage and be coming in June. Yeah, interesting. I did not know that Energizer made phones, though. Did you know that, Zach?
Nope.
So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Hawaii's 5G foldable phone is coming this month. So that's a thing that's happening. We worked on one.
That's neat.
Yeah, we worked on one a few weeks ago. It was kind of a pain in the rear end phone to work on. Yeah. Anyways, I may or may not have broken something. Oops. That's okay. Yeah, it was like glass cover, so pretty easy part to replace. It wasn't like something like major. So, anyways, I don't know. I just, from what I've kind of seen and heard, I don't think that the foldable phone technology is quite like, I don't know. I think it's still kind of a gimmick. But anyways, we'll see. Okay, so we kind of talked about this there for a second, but what do I absolutely hate in new phones now, Zach? Because I make a gripe about it every time.
Notch.
I hate the notch, okay? So, what do you think? Okay? Is a slide better than a notch?
No.
You don't think so?
The notch isn't even... Well, I already told you that I don't think the notch is that bad.
Okay. But, okay, so here's the thing, right? The theory behind the notch is to make room for the camera, and the reason the reason they need to make room for the camera is because they want an edge-to-edge display. Okay? But then here's the problem. You don't really actually have a complete edge-to-edge display because then you've got a giant chunk taken out of it. So, what some phones apparently are doing now, the one that I'm kind of looking at here, it's like kind of like your old flip phone, or not your flip phone, your old slide phone in a way, sort of, but it like the screen like slides down to reveal the camera underneath it. Then you get a full edge-to-edge display that is completely unobstructed.
Honestly, just omit the selfie camera. Like, who cares about it?
People have actually talked. Well,
I don't care about it.
You don't use it. So let me ask you then.
I'm sure a lot of people care about it.
Well, actually, let me ask you. Okay, so what if phone manufacturers started actually making edge-to-edge phones without a front-facing camera, like as an option?
Sure.
You would buy it. Actually, it would probably make things a little bit cheaper too, because it's one less component.
I wouldn't buy it because I don't need a new phone right now.
Let me ask you though, okay?
If I need a new phone.
Well, actually, I'll ask you in a minute. Remember the Roomba?
I mean, remember it? It's like this.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Remember Roomba? Okay, the little little vacuum cleaner thing that like is automated.
You almost said lawn.
Yeah, because the creator of the Roomba has now made an autonomous lawnmower robot. It's a lawnmower Roomba. I don't know if it's for sale yet.
Good idea.
I don't know if it's for sale yet.
Lawn mowing is the most, personally, in my opinion, it is the most pointless and just horrendous activity known to man. What a stupid.
Okay. I was curious about this. So iRobot, which is the maker of the Roomba vacuum, announced its first autonomous lawnmower the other day. While most autonomous lawnmowers require people to lay down wire to define their borders, this one is only going to require wireless beacons to be placed around the perimeter of the lawn. Here's my only problem with this, is there better be some really good security measures on this thing, because it's going to have a spinning blade on it that can actually do some damage, some real damage.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm totally with you. This is kind of a cool idea. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Ooh. It only has an hour of runtime, though. Takes about 2 hours to charge fully. If it runs out of battery mid-route, it's going to go back to its charger and then pick up where it left off. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's completely waterproof, and it's designed to live outdoors. Features 2 modular shears and spring technology, so if the blades hit a rock or something else that's hefty, they bounce back and don't snap. Okay, that's kind of cool. It also has a bumper on the front to help avoid destroyed bot. There's an app that lets users define a grass height and make adjustments as needed. People can use it to monitor the mower schedule and route too. It pairs over Wi-Fi, but iRobot wouldn't explain how it intends to deal with potentially poor signal in users' yards. I'm going to guess probably some kind of repeater kind of thing. It's going to launch in Germany with a beta program in the US. Pricing has not been announced yet. Interesting. So, cool idea. I like it.
Absolutely lovely idea. As I said, lawn mowing, like, you you ever get forced to do that as a kid?
Oh, I still do it.
Ugh, I will never do
Actually, okay. Let me ask you. If you had your Go ahead.
I will never ever again.
Well, okay, let me ask you this though, okay? So, you can only pick one, okay? But would you rather have a autonomous lawnmower or an autonomous snowblower?
And in what universe can we not have both?
Good point, but if you had to choose.
Also, I'll just drive over the snow. I don't care.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't think it has once this year been too deep to just drive over it.
Oh, really? You guys haven't gotten hit with like a massive snowstorm yet?
I mean, maybe a couple times.
Yeah. Who generally does the snow removal in your family?
That would be my dad. He does it.
Oh.
But actually, I don't think... Because I always hear it. So, I mean, I've heard it like twice.
I figured you were going to be the one who got to like do that.
No.
So, anyways.
I would probably still attempt to drive over it.
Oh, Zach. You're going to get stuck one of these days, and it's going to be kind of funny. Anyways, I'm waiting for that story. Actually, no, you would never admit that.
Okay, and I will probably find a way to get unstuck, and it will be fine. Okay, like I'll just snowblow around the car then.
Okie dokie. I'll explain to you why that idea might not work later. Anyways,
why would that now?
There may be some other physics involved with that.
I don't.
You have not gotten your car stuck yet, have you?
No, I have.
Wait.
Why would I guess?
I'll talk to you about it in a bit. There's some other physics that go along with that.
Why would I get stuck?
Okay. Generally, when you
driving, I just get.
Generally, you get stuck because the snow is too deep. Okay. and then it builds, because you have a low sitting car to the ground, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what ends up happening is you try to drive through snow that's too deep, and then it builds up under the vehicle. So going around the vehicle is not going to help you with the snowblower. Yeah, sure, it'll clear all the snow around you, but that's not going to fix the underlying problem. And usually the problem is that you don't have any traction.
Well, I guess it's time to start getting some kind of way of melting the snow, I guess. Hot water on it. A bucket of hot water and unload it under the...
No. Just use a heat gun.
Yes, with a very long extension.
Actually, no, you could get a power inverter for your vehicle.
That's true, actually.
You could get a power inverter for your vehicle. That would work. You know what a heat gun is, right, Zach?
Of course I know what a heat gun is.
Yeah, it's like a glorified... I call it a glorified hair dryer. Yeah, it's a glorified hair dryer.
It's a hair dryer with the capacity to...
No, a heat gun is the man's hair dryer. There you go. Anyways, so... All right. That is... Oh, one last thing before we leave. Okay, so if and when... Well, not a question of if. It's a question of when. When you upgrade your phone, Zach, what are you looking at right now? What are you thinking?
What about right now?
What phones stand out to you right now that you would consider upgrading to?
I don't know. I'd have to probably surf around because I don't even know what's on the market right now, to tell you the truth, except for the ones I work on. I mean, I dare say that I like the... Let's see. So this is going to sound stupid.
Okay.
If there was a phone that looked just... It aesthetically... You know, from a design standpoint, not hardware-wise, just aesthetically, it was just like the iPhone 10. But it had different hardware inside, obviously, and
so
I actually don't mind.
I don't mind. You don't mind the aesthetics of the iPhone 10?
I don't mind the aesthetic of it. I think it looks fairly...
Actually, I think it looks pretty nice, too.
And I don't mind the notch. I don't care about the notch, like you. And, yeah.
You know, working at a couple 10s, it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it was going to, but I think it's more of a mental thing. It just seems like a stupid idea. But then when you're actually physically using it, like, you just kind of don't necessarily notice it. But that's probably because I haven't, like, actually had, like, a super amount of, like, hands-on time with a phone with a notch in it yet. So I think it's all just more mental in my mind. Like, it just looks dumb to me. But anyways, no, I hear you on that. I think that the aesthetic design of the iPhone 10 actually looks pretty awesome. I was thinking...
I do have a bit of a checklist, though, that I need to have if I get a new phone.
Okay.
I need to be able to change the battery, and I need to be able to root it.
Ooh, okay. You might have some problems with that first one there.
Yep, and the second one.
Okay, but okay.
Like, I need to be able to root it the day I buy it. I'm not...
That might get interesting, too.
Yeah.
That
it
one
usually does.
Yeah, that one might get interesting, too.
For a device. I always browse forums and whatnot looking for, you know, hey,
right.
This...
Let me ask you, 5G, is that important to you? Or do you not care?
Cannot be.
You cannot be bothered.
What, so I can get through my data cap faster?
I thought you had unlimited data. Just, you mean you're not throttled data?
You know, honestly, I have no clue how the plan. I barely use it. I legitimately just barely use it.
I see.
Like, this is part of the reason I don't have a newer phone. Like, I call and I text, and occasionally I surf online with it.
Wait, Zach actually... Wait, Zach actually talks to people on the phone?
A lot of it's employment.
Ooh, okay. I will give you that one. I'll give you that one. So,
But anyway, like, yeah, that's
okay.
yeah. I don't need a new phone for that. I have a nice tablet that was, especially compared to a phone, very much inexpensive.
Mm.
I use that.
I see. Alrighty. Well, let's call it a show. Thank you for joining us. We shall be back next week, I think. Yeah, we should be. And some changes may be coming to the show soon. We'll see. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for joining us. Where is... I don't do the show for a week, and then I forget where my graphics are. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you for joining us. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. Get subscribed down below. That'd be awesome. And we'll see you next week here on The Ram Show. Bye!